simplicity, equity, and belief in lifelong learning. Some of the sources of the material that I get are from lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. My experience is in law enforcement, 30 years of it. Now, I know that Julie teaches an investigations class at a community college and actually went to Owen Cater for some material or some information. Did you not? At one point?
You want to have a debate or do you want to ask me a question?
I'm asking you a question.
Yes, if I thought
Okay.
if you had an interesting video that I could show the class, I could show that to my class, and he said he did not, so I had to go find my video.
Okay. But she went and got resources. What else is she supposed to do? So I've gotten resources as well. One of the issues is perspective. Our Department of Civil Rights, our Office of Civil Rights and the Department of Education has noted that statutes it imposes are intended not to regulate the content of free speech. And that is not intended to curtail free speech. A reasonable person should expect that an introductory criminal justice class involves discourse and differences of opinions about issues. Okay? One of the sources of information is Alan Dershowitz. Are you students familiar with Alan Dershowitz? I'm laying the foundation of the information that you say that you heard.
My questions are here to hear your point of view. We are in a
Okay,
university.
this is my class,
Then
and
ask me
I have
questions.
not asked, okay, then I won't ask you any more questions.
Ask me questions, I'll answer.
I'm going to quote some of the comments that Alan Dershowitz has made, because I have stated that our criminal justice system doesn't work very well. I've also stated that a lot of things are the law, and I accept that, but I do not have to like it. And if my interpretation of it is contrary to hers, she has the right to have her opinion. That is well and good. That's her First Amendment protection. I'm entitled likewise to have my opinion. So, Alan Dershowitz, I've discovered some disturbing truths that are not part of our theory of law. I have learned that despite the constitutional presumption of innocence, the vast majority of criminal defendants are in fact guilty of the crimes with which they are charged. Almost all of my clients have been guilty, which is what I told you. There have been almost no correlation between the guilt or innocence of my clients and whether they serve time or not. Alan Dershowitz is a Harvard Law professor since 1964. He has also taught in the faculty of Stanford University. In representing criminal defendants, especially guilty ones, it is often necessary to take the offensive against the government, to put the government on trial for its misconduct. In law, as in sports, the best defense is often a good offense. So, what I've said is that there are strategies that are used, and if your client is guilty, where does the strategy come from? It comes from the attorney. That's what I said. I'm not unique in representing guilty defendants. That is what most defense attorneys do most of the time. The Perry Mason image of the heroic defender of innocent victims of frame-ups of mistaken identity is television fiction, which is what I reference a lot. Don't rely on what you see on television. Any criminal lawyer who tells you that most of his clients are not guilty is either bluffing or deliberately limiting his practice to a few innocent people. And I can go on and on. I'm going to cut this short. Once I decide to take a case, I have only one agenda. I want to win. I will try by every fair and legal means, and I understand that, but I don't have to like it, to get my clients off without regard to the consequences. He then references a British barrister who says that an advocate, by the sacred duty which he owes his client, knows in the discharge of that office but one person in the world, that's the client and none other. He must not regard the alarm, the suffering, the torment, the destruction which he may bring upon others. That's the way it is, and I don't have to like it. Okay? She may have a completely different opinion, which she obviously does, and she's entitled to that opinion. But it is her opinion. I do not apologize for or feel guilty about helping to let a murderer go free, even though I realize that someday one of my clients may go out and kill again. I don't have to like that. Okay? Now, what we get down to here is what I've been talking about, the bias that is in this university and is in the media. Okay? And all I can tell you, which is why I posted, for those of you in my class, the article by Thomas Sowell, that you don't know what you don't know. And the only way you can educate yourself is to educate yourself. Because the philosophy in this environment leans so far to one side that you are the only person being cheated. If you don't know who these people are that I've been talking about all semester, then you're being cheated. Because that's the other side of the issue. And I'm not making it up. A research study by Gross and Foss found that the ratio of liberal to conservative in universities is 7-to-1 to 9-to-1. That means what you hear 9 times out of 10 is one side. That's not fair to you. Now it goes on to talk about why there are so many liberals in education. And it concludes that liberals like this environment. This is more conducive to liberals. Now she, in her posted request for a debate, said my conservative views. So it didn't even escape her. My case in point. Now, if we're going to talk about fairness, then this room should be comprised half of law enforcement and prosecution attorneys, and the other half students. That would be fair. If this was a voir dire, a jury selection, you guys wouldn't be a jury, because the bias is already ingrained. That's why I did not want to debate, because you've already heard that side, and my side may seem odd. Well, I've never heard that before. She must be right, because I heard that from 900 professors. And what I say is no. My opinion is just as valid as her opinion. And that's what I've been saying all semester. Okay? Now, I apologize if you took offense, but, outside you just told me that you've been hearing this for years. Well, what? You've been hearing that I have a different opinion? Fine. That's my opinion. And I'm not going to apologize for that. I apologize if you take offense, because I didn't intend that. But I'm not going to apologize for having my opinion, and I'm not going to be censored. That's the First Amendment protection. And Alan Dershowitz protected a Stanford law professor named Bruce Franklin, who was fired for a variety of reasons. But Alan Dershowitz won a Supreme Court case on the basis of a First Amendment right to say what he wants to say in this environment. So that's it. That's it. I may not agree with her, and she obviously not going to agree with me, but that's protected. She can teach her class the way she wants to and discuss whatever issues in confined per class, and that's fine. But this, frankly, it's unnecessary. It's rude. I asked her, well, why didn't you just come and talk to me? I'm right across the hall. No, this theatrics is more suiting. So I'll relinquish the floor at this time. But again, say your piece. Thank you all for coming. I've got other material to cover and papers to read. So you're not going to be here for a Greek drama.
I didn't come talk to you because you always tell me it's dirty written and make little jokes and little asides and little asides and little jokes that you make in front of your class. Not all opinions are equally valid. Everyone in this class knows that what they are taught here to do is evaluate opinions and critically think, not just pop up opinions. You guys can have yours, I can have mine, and the whole purpose of a debate is to exchange ideas with each other so students can be critically thinking about these issues that you are raising. I brought my students so they could hear your point of view, not to hide your point of view. This is what a university is about, the exchange of ideas. So when I hear students come in and tell me prosecutors won't take cases because the defense is able to, quote, make them up, that people that can't read can't come up with defenses, so they don't come up with their defenses, you shouldn't be allowed to come up with just any defense, unlike some defense attorney professors that work here. The system worked better 30 years ago for whom? The defense attorney should not be able to berate a victim on the stand if you find it sick. And I imagine that these are the comments that you were making. These are the comments I've heard for years from students. And yes, you are free to make those opinions. I've never said anything about it because you can talk about it. But what I find troubling is that you don't make any connection in my mind from what I'm hearing from students, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. But apparently you don't want to have a debate and respond to any direct questions about whether you are supporting your ideas of critical thinking, not whether you can support where you got your ideas or your opinions from, but whether you can even articulate a critical thinking response to this. When you say that a defense shouldn't be allowed to make up a defense and that guilty people, that there's this problem with guilty people, yes, of course, duh. If there's probable cause to make an arrest, we know that there's probable cause that someone is likely guilty. If a prosecutor brings a charge, a prosecutor is ethically bound to not bring charges unless they believe they can convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty. Those are ethical rules. So is it surprising that most people that go through the criminal system are guilty? Does that lessen the idea of the presumption of innocence? The Sixth Amendment right to have a lawyer vigorously defend you? Does it lessen the idea that a defense lawyer's ethics are to represent someone whether they are guilty or not? Is it your thoughts that the defense lawyer should find out if their client's guilty, and then the defense lawyer decides who lives or dies, or the defense lawyer makes an independent judgment that that person is not entitled to defense, or that you're not entitled to vigorously cross-examine witnesses? There's a right of confrontation in the Sixth Amendment that guarantees this right. And why is that? Because our adversarial system is based on the idea that two opposing ideas battling it out, prosecutors and defense, with a neutral arbiter being the judge, in a forum of an institution like our courts, is best able to get at truth. And if that battle is happening legitimately, then we will best get to truth. The idea that because they are guilty, that they should be essentially entitled to not challenge witnesses, to not really have any sort of a valid defense, and then burn the defense lawyers, and say that the problem is defense lawyers. That I have a problem with, and that is why I showed up today, because you and I cannot have a debate about this, because you just think you can say anything you want, and that you do not have to support it with any law or rational thought. And that is the problem. You come in quoting stuff out of your book, you should be talking about, I mean, I can take your argument and make it better, but I'm not going to do that for you. I mean, if students want to ask, if you want to have a discussion, I can make your argument in the context of a critical thinking analysis for conservative students, which is what I routinely do in my class. Because people should be allowed to think for themselves. So when you say that this whole class is biased because you should have police officers sitting in here, he's pretty much saying that you have no ability to think for yourself and evaluate ideas. And that is the purpose of a debate at a university. So he says that half of this should be cops? Really? So are cops who brutalize people on videos and shoot people in the back, are cops entitled to a defense? Yes. Do we say that they have a right to go to a trial? Yes. Do we find that conduct abhorrent when we're watching this on videos? Yes. Should those lawyers be able to cross-examine vigorously any witness that's saying that there was a justification or no justification for the attack or the killings of unarmed black men in the society? Yes. We know that defense lawyers come and represent cops, and they get trials, and they get the presumption of innocence, and to deny that for everybody else, what, because they're too poor? Well, Gideon was too poor, and that went to the Supreme Court because Gideon went to his first trial without a lawyer, presumed essentially guilty. The jury found him guilty. It goes up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court reverses, gives him a lawyer. The lawyer does the smallest level of investigation, does the smallest level of cross-examination, and lo and behold, Gideon, our little Gideon, if you've watched him, he's kind of cute, four-time loser felon, found guilty. On the retrial, he gets a lawyer. The jury says not guilty. And I guess the position on the other side would be he was not entitled to that because he was really guilty the first time? Or is the idea that maybe a defense lawyer is important to justice and that we don't deny justice because we think people are guilty? I don't want to deny justice to cops who kill people on video. I want the cops to be brought to justice, and that means in a trial with due process, with lawyers, with everything that is guaranteed in our beautiful society. But we cannot ignore that there is a two-tiered system of justice that works for some and not for others. And you guys should be thinking about how you want that to play out. You know, do we want, when we hear like, that kid down, the Stanford swimmer, and everybody gets mad that he got off on rape charges. As a woman, I am mad about those things too. Do you think that it's a liberal or conservative position that we're against rape? I'm in favor of rapists and murderers and child molesters, and not? That's insane. We're all in favor of justice for rapists, child molesters, murderers, thieves. But they are entitled to the presumption of innocence. They are entitled to due process. They are entitled to lawyers. They're entitled to have cross-examination, whether they are guilty or not. That is the whole reason that we put these things into place. So when I hear about a rapist getting off, yes, as a woman, I am mad about that. But I can also critically think about it. And I don't say that the problem is he got a crazy, awesome defense lawyer who got him off with probation. No, I say that the criminal justice system reflects the social mores of our society. Our criminal justice system is a direct reflection of mirror back on us. So if our police officers are brutalizing people, it is a reflection back on our society. If defense lawyers are talking judges into giving sentences for probation for rapists, that is a reflection of how we value women in this society. And these are the things that you guys should be thinking about, but it has to be discussed. How do you make up a defense? Do you think that lawyers just walk in and create these things? No, it's called your other class where you're learning about elements. And prosecutors have to prove every element of a crime in order to get a conviction within our system. So what is a made-up defense? It's called raising reasonable doubt about an element. That's what that's about. And you may not like it, you're entitled to that opinion, but you should at least be able to discuss the nuance that maybe it's the prosecutor didn't bring enough evidence to convince a jury of all the elements. That maybe the problem is not the defense lawyer for doing what they are ethically bound to do by our Constitution. Maybe you should be talking about a little bit of nuance. Not all, because we all know we all pipe off on opinions for things, but in a university we should be taught, hey, our way of thinking should be, yeah, I can pipe off an opinion, but I should also be asking myself, how can it be nuanced? What is the idea on the other side? How can we think about this? I, too, am bothered when people who are guilty get acquitted. But I also have to ask, we put a lot of people on death row, and we know the Innocent Project says that those same people that we hated, that we were all in society like string them up, and what happens when they're innocent? And a defense lawyer brings that to light. Or do we just go, oops? And is that not the whole point of our criminal justice system? Is to ferret out the best we can in this adversarial process so that we do not convict innocent people? That's the whole premise of our system. And to just ignore that there's this adversarial system, ignore that it's not defense lawyers getting to willy-nilly do what they want. Judges decide what evidence is relevant. Judges tell the jurors the law. Judges can control cross-examination in a courtroom. So if a lawyer is badgering a witness, the prosecutor in our adversarial system must object. And if the prosecutor objects, the judge would rule on that objection to stop the defense lawyer if they are crossing the line. But we shouldn't say that defense lawyers should never cross-examine a witness for fear that someone else might say that that was inappropriate. Because how would you feel if you were the person sitting there? Guilty or not? How would you feel? Would you want your lawyer representing you, or would you want your lawyer making decisions that you are guilty? And therefore, I will do nothing for you. And so when we look back at the role that defense lawyers have played in our society, we have to think about these things. Plessy got on a train car, and the criminal justice system railed him into an arrest and a conviction, and it was his defense lawyer that tried to challenge the Jim Crow kind of laws. The Supreme Court said, no, thank you. We'll have racial bias in our society for another some 50 years. It was defense lawyers who represented the Lovings, if you're reading cases, the Lovings who got charged with a felony for getting married when they were black and white. Charged in the criminal justice system, and we're supposed to pretend that a defense lawyer doesn't serve a role. That defense lawyer came in and changed the law that said equal protection means equal protection for everyone. And then gay people were getting prosecuted and getting felonies because they were having same-sex sex in the privacy of their own home among consenting adults, and the criminal justice system brought charges for them. Felonies, prison. It was the defense lawyer that said, oh, should we just say, well, you were guilty because you engaged in some sex that we said you can't have? Or should the defense lawyer come in and say, we're going to bring all the legal challenges and we're going to change the Constitution to this notion that all people are protected, that the Equal Protection Clause means something for everyone, that privacy means something, that the government just can't pass laws. That's what the Constitution is there for. And to diminish the idea that the defense lawyer professor just makes up defenses like it's unethical, that is, I find outrageous. That is why I am here. And I think it would behoove both of us to go back and forth, and you can have some ideas, you can answer these questions, I can answer questions, you can ask me any question. Have I defended people that are guilty? Yes. Did I like getting guilty people off? No. Is that my ethical responsibility? Yes. I will answer any question that you want to raise on this subject that is about critical thinking so students can form their own opinions about this. This isn't a liberal or conservative issue. This is an issue of critical thinking. And it requires knowing something about the criminal justice system and our laws and why they were put into place. These are all the reasons that we fought the American Revolution. These are all the reasons that we cherish our democracy. It's because we don't live in a police state. We don't trust our government. We put checks and balances in with our Bill of Rights. And guess what? Cops are the government. So yes, we need to have checks and balances. That's why the Constitution is there, so you can have your opinions. Everybody can have, students might have the same opinions. I'm bothered by a lot of the things. I don't like to see rape victims crucified in court. I don't like to see that at all. And I wouldn't want to be the lawyer doing it, quite frankly. But I respect that other lawyers need to be doing that. Because we don't get to presume guilt. And that means just because a victim says it doesn't make it true. Just because officers say it doesn't make it true. That is what the battle in our courts is all about. And so yes, there is a problem when lawyers are not vigorously defending their clients, and our system is now made up of primarily plea bargaining, and no trials, and no adversarial battles. And when our jails are filled with poor people, and Wall Street goes free, and doesn't even get charged for their crimes, yes, I have a problem. When weed goes to prison for 10 years on a mandatory minimum because it's labeled a Schedule I narcotic, and then, what, you're not supposed to have a defense? Oh, I got caught with weed? the government says that that is a most serious of all drugs and I should be locked up. But we're not supposed to be able to ask questions about why Wall Street executives have not been charged. So when a defense lawyer makes up a defense, that's what I did a year and a half ago. As a professor, I went to the federal court when my friends were representing someone who had lied to a bank, got a loan, lied. Her name was Nadia. There's no question if we're using just regular language. Yes, she was guilty. She lied to the bank, didn't have the money, got a loan, didn't pay it back. They charged her with fraud on the bank. No question in our parlance of regular talk, that would be she's guilty. However, bank fraud requires that the lie that she said to the bank about how much she makes is material, meaning it was capable of influencing the decision makers at that bank. So guess what we did as a defense? I said, let's put Wall Street on trial. Let's tell the truth about, to a jury, 12 people that are the conscience of our communities. 12 people should get to decide something about our justice system because no one's bringing these people to justice. So we put on a defense that put this issue of, did the lies matter to the dirty bankers? And we got, for the first time in the entire country, to put on a defense that challenged the element of materiality. Not because it's made up, but because the prosecutor has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the issue of materiality. So experts came in, we put on all the evidence that the bankers were involved in these massive frauds, that they encouraged the lies from people, and that you shouldn't scapegoat the lowest level people for doing crimes and lock them in prison when no one else is going. So guess what a jury said? Not guilty. Not guilty. So should Nadia have gone to prison when bankers don't go to prison? Do we not get to talk about these things? Do jurors not get to decide these questions? Do you not get to decide these questions? Because he is doing you a disservice when he just reads out of a book or pops off an opinion and can't put it in the language of how that connects to prosecutorial duties, ethics. That is a very real problem that I felt should be debated. So, I don't want to, we can have this debate anytime, any place, on any subject that you want.
Julie, wrap it up, please. You have rattled off a lot of stuff. She gave a lecture, okay? Fine. I give lectures as well, fine. But the only thing I agree that she said is that I'm entitled to my opinion. I never said the poor shouldn't have an attorney. I never said that the defense should not be afforded to anybody, that they shouldn't have their Sixth Amendment right. Either she misunderstood or is intentionally false. I've never said those things, okay? All I've said is that you need to educate yourself on both sides of issues. And a lot of times, the people that I cite, you'll never hear of. I asked how many people know who Thomas Sowell is. Nobody knew who he was. David Horowitz, nobody knew who he was. That's unfair to you. That's what I have said, okay?
Thank you for just having a nice exchange.
Nobody goes to prison for marijuana. Well, it's too late for that.
People do go to prison for marijuana.
Not, yeah, a trainload of marijuana. That's all.
That's still a problem.